Uh, this is Hollywood, you know? And let me take you through the timelines, as this is the truth behind the divorce of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, people are going to be like, don't tell me, Carcino, you're going to inject yourself in this? Yes, I am. It was I who introduced them now. I mean, here's the thing. BoxingSocialist.com. You remember that. You know that. You know that that's the website I own with my partner, Sean Craddock. We're both 50-50 owners. Now, we have had another website. As Boxing Socialist was growing so fast, Sean thought it'd be a great idea to come out with MovieSocialist.com and MMASocialist.com, because I know so much about the movie industry and I know all these actors and people who have been in films, but I also know people who make the films, the directors, the photographers, and they contact me on LinkedIn, they contact me on Facebook, and we talk about principal photography. And can you please donate to my indie film? Because that's what it's really going to break down to with all the communications, because you don't know how Hollywood works. And they normally have an actor who is a small investor, or a number of actors that come together and put money together to put out these independent films. And there's a long list of films that are to come out. And the one film that we were going to invest in is the Karate Kid version, remake, MMA version, called Never Back Down, which was supposed to star Jake Shields, the MMA star UFC fighter, Jake Shields. His father, Jack Shields, was his manager, and he used to always do interviews with us on MMA Socialist. And I never put the interview out, but I still have it, because Jack Shields unfortunately passed away. And he had the script for Never Back Down. And in the script, Amber Heard, who ends up playing the love interest of Jake Shields, was supposed to be in this movie. She ended up getting cast to basically start her career off as the love interest in this Karate Kid-ish film. Now, I chose not to back this film when it was getting made because, well, it didn't get made or approved with UFC's approval, so it just became a regular MMA movie. But it ended up becoming a cult classic and a hit amongst young teens. So the movie actually turned in a profit, and this girl here was starting to be catapulted and moved on to other films and projects. She started making other movies, Amber Heard, and people was like, oh, so what do you think of Amber Heard? You know, if we can get Amber Heard's, approval for this, or should Amber Heard do this, or can you think we can get her to? So now she's starting to go through. She's got a personal trainer. She has somebody that's getting her in shape, because from Never Back Down, she was a little on the hefty side, they thought. So for her to get more starting roles, she had to glamorify herself, go into the gym, hit the gym very hard, and then she decided to come out with the fact that she was a lesbian or bisexual. And she's dating the photographer who looks like a young Johnny Depp named Tasia. Or Taza, whatever you want to pronounce it. I don't know her. But anyway, Johnny Depp, who's also a great producer of films. And he loves the indie films, the very small films that I go to. I go to the Indie Fest. I watch a lot of movies. I watch over 200 movies at the movie theaters a year. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And when it comes to this situation, he had a story that someone had written and he wanted to produce called, The Rum Diary. Sorry, here I got distracted with something that's happening here. So in this, The Rum Diary, you're seeing, all the people go through this selection for women and who they're gonna get, and all of a sudden, there it is. It's like Amber Heard. And at this time, Johnny Depp is kind of like got a mother with 2 kids, a wife with 2 kids, with Vanessa. So it's like, you're in a bad spot here. But Johnny has problems, That's why we love him as Captain Jack Sparrow. It's just that he can't be Captain Jack all the time. He has so many characters in his head. He suffers from multiple personality disorder. And a lot of people don't know that outside of the industry. But if you know anybody that make films, this is part of the thing about Johnny that makes him unique. Is his psychosis is part of his genius for playing these characters. It's almost like he has to play them to get them out of his head. So that's why you always see him in such bizarre characters. And Amber knew about all this going in, and he was so nice, so respectful and caring to her, and they had some sparks while filming back in 2009. Now the movie didn't get released till 2012, I think, 3 years later or 2 years later or something. And then here comes the movie, The Rum Diary. And when it comes out to mixed reviews. Johnny Depp is still trying to find out something that works, that he's comfortable with. But none of his movies are hitting the success plateau as they used to. They're losing 40 million, 50 million at the box office because he wasn't doing such big budget films. And with Transcendence going down, and so did his latest film that went down, that was supposed to dig him out of the Mordecai. Once that tanked, it started to say, okay, well, maybe he's not a blockbuster no more. So now he's going back to the Pirates. But in the meantime, his home life, he starts being dark now towards his wife. He's short with her. They had the incident in Australia with the dogs. And she knew what she was getting into when she met Johnny, and for her, it's an opportunity for her to not have to work. I mean, her job now is, you're a representative of Revlon. Here is a new Versace dress. Here's a new Balenciaga Miyongo dress, or whatever model dress they have. She doesn't pay for anything now. She's sitting at the A-list stars tables. She's not sitting in the B-list. So now she can do a movie if she feel like doing a movie. And there was another indie movie which I love. So if you can find this movie, Amber Heard is in it. She's actually pretty good in the film. It's called Syrup. And it's about marketing and how we just buy the labels, that nothing really changes with the actual product, that we still buy labels. And basically that's the same thing. We just buy the name. We don't buy the actual product. It's kind of similar with this Jay-Z situation. Jay-Z's name is so big, and we used to Jay-Z, we never really looking at the song and see if it's really good, and it sucks. So now it's like, man, the song sucks, but it's Jay-Z, man. So it's a similar situation there. We just buy the product. So, and now, segueing that right back to the story, they were having situations and problems like every other family. And since January of this year, they really hit an impasse where it wasn't going to get better. And he thanked her for trying to put up with him for these 15 months. But it's clear that she's been trying to, or still messing around with the photographer, Tasia, allegedly. This is happening, and everybody's like, okay, is she back with the photographer? And Johnny's, not too happy about it. He wasn't the one that really wanted divorce, and he's basically financing her being with this girl. They just weren't out in public. So now things kind of change a little bit. And what I mean by that, meaning that his mom is dying. She wanted to leave him, but Johnny didn't want this to happen while his mom was still, alive at this point. His mom was sick, and it didn't look like she was going to make it. So, allegedly, he wanted her not to separate and do all this stuff where it's in the media while his mom was still alive. And it looks like she kept her in at the bargain, but it hurt her really bad because now the mom dies, three days later, here comes the divorce filing. And it's like, whoa, that's too soon. How low down can you be? So I think she made a mistake by coming out so soon that she could have just waited. But people do what they do. So that's really just the gist of it. But she also wants alimony support. And Johnny Depp is like, whoa, hold up, Judge, throw that out. I'm not finna pay and finance her to be with this girl that she's been creeping around with all this time. So no way. I'm not paying for alimony support. So now they're going to have a fight about that. And unfortunately for Johnny, he's got to go through this situation. But this is Hollywood, baby. This is Hollywood. I'm out.